Mind over money.
Mind on my money and my money on my mind.
You know what I've been doing this past week?
What's that?
Man, I've been traveling. I've been going places. One of the things that I was doing was actually up in Alaska.
That's right.
Do you remember that?
Well, we can tell with you.
Oh,
beautifully.
I've got something up there, don't I?
Designed hat.
Yeah, they did something different, though, at the start.
Okay.
You know what they did?
What did they do?
You know, a lot of times they'll say, on your mark, get set, go. This time they said, on your marks, get set, cannonball! Let's go! Woo! How do you know? Woo! That's good stuff. How did you know?
I can just tell.
I didn't tell you.
You know why? Because
you smelled it.
After 49 episodes.
Oh, snap.
I think we've figured this out. Yeah. Episode 50
is now?
Right now.
Wow.
We filmed 49.
How about that?
That's where we got so damn good.
Yes. Now.
Where we could have a flawless intro like that.
And we don't even think about it.
Don't even. It's
yeah,
just,
and
it's
I'm 51.
Nature.
That's why I'm flawless. No. I'll turn 52 soon. And guess where else you can go if you want to be flawless? You can go to SRP Studios LLC.com.
That's right. Come see what we're doing down here.
I like it.
And then look, the shirt I'm wearing.
Oh,
Motivate
nice
with Coach
shirt.
Camp, everybody.
Very comfortable.
MotivateWithCoachCamp.com. Learn more about Coach and all his great work that he does. And people are organically finding this website and hiring him for speaking events.
Isn't
now.
that wild?
I mean, it's just exactly what we're trying to do here.
You know who else organically found me was the FBI. And I don't understand that part. Hello. But you know what? If they wanted to send us a message, how could they do that?
Cannonballing Life at gmail.com.
Woo! I love that.
That was very good. Harmonizing, not so tight on my end.
It happens. Yeah, well, hey, you know what, though? Let's stay positive. And how's the best way to do that?
Thank you for that. I need to stay positive.
You should.
You know, at least I can speak.
You can. You can speak.
Not well, but I have a voice.
And you can type, and if you had a positive and you had a voice, what could you do with
I
it?
would go to Facebook.
Oh.
Go to our description for this episode.
Is it in the link?
Hit that link for Positive Voices.
Yes, you should do that on the Facebook group.
It's a Facebook group.
We're over 1,100 now.
That's good stuff.
1,100.
That's a lot.
One of them came from Alaska. Yeah, that's good stuff.
With your travels, you're going to build new fans as you go.
It's beautiful.
And then, you know, sometimes we got to figure out how to spend some of the money that's been donated to us through Venmo
at
Motivate with Coach Camp. We're not going to talk about it on the show and bore everybody with it, but dude, we got to figure out a logo.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's what we're going to say.
Yeah, we're going to figure
so
it out.
we have a Cannonballing Life.
My swimming pool's open. We got to jump. That's all we got to do. You need to go to the store, get you one of them nice Speedos, come over to the house, blah, blam.
Let me starve myself for a month.
No, I think the bigger the better. Dad bods in action. Plus, the bigger the splash.
Yeah.
And if we're cannonballing, that's the goal, right?
And hopefully next
week,
next episode, hopefully, my shirts for Thrive will be ready.
Oh, yeah. Man, I've been seeing your stuff posted. You know, believe it or not, it made it all the way.
Posted.
Where you've been like your logo and you had your stuff up on Facebook and it had Thrive DJ.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You follow my page. I haven't posted anything. I've been just updating the profile pic.
Well, because I'm a follower.
So you see that.
Yeah, and it's all the way in Alaska now. So
you've
people can see that up
You've
there.
seen all the different variations. It's like, oh, Derrick changed it again.
Yeah, he's working on it. I thought it was a final product. And I'm like, nope, and redo.
Yeah. Sorry to all the followers of Thrive Entertainment. But
I think,
I think I landed on something I like. But anyways, next week, hopefully we'll be able to present the new look there. And I definitely want to update on some Thrive stuff here. But first,
Thriving and jiving.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Just back from Alaska.
No, that's not even another country. That's still America.
Forrest Gump is the only person that has run more miles than this man across from me, Coach Camp.
Yeah, but he didn't carry as much as I did. I was rucking and didn't mean to.
So you did your 30, well, I know you've done more than 34 marathons, but
Correct.
This is your 34th state.
34th marathon in a different state.
Anchorage, Alaska.
Yes, sir. I did.
Tell us all about it,
man. You know what? I could jump into that, or I could tell you about the travels too there, which is also interesting. We'll go back to it, but I'll jump into
this. This is going to be heavy, Coach.
It's a lot of stuff. Well, I don't mean for it to be. I'm just saying that sometimes.
So you're wearing a medal.
Yeah, it's solid gold.
Solid gold.
Yeah, it's very heavy. Very heavy. Actually, it's white gold.
Solid gold.
So you can see that.
Do you mean that?
It hurts.
If that happens to disappear, and then all of a sudden I have new cameras, it wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
That wasn't me.
I'm glad to contribute. It's fine. Hey, you want to feel this thing? Actually,
yeah.
It's
fine.
It's right here. Just hold that right there like that. There you go.
That does have some weight to it.
I know. It pulls my neck down. After the race, I'm just like, can't get it up.
So basically, do you get it just finishing?
Yeah.
It's just what you get.
Yeah, but it actually turns out though, you gotta, so you gotta race the whole time. You had to finish the race within a specific time frame. And then, of course, you qualify and get your medal and stuff. And after doing, they have analytics, by the way, just like every sport. You have analytics for everything. It's like in baseball, you may see a guy get a double in the second inning for the 5th straight game. And it'll be like, this is the first player in Major League history to have a double in the second inning in 5 consecutive games. It's like, who keeps up with that number? But there's somebody out there with a pen that got the glasses on the end of the nose and they're writing stuff down, and that's who those people are. Well, they do that with races. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
So there's categories, there's subcategories, and there's sub-subcategories, and then there's categories that shouldn't be a category, but they still categorize it.
Is that way so everyone gets some kind of accolade?
I want you to feel good about life, I guess. I don't know. So you get the overall winner, which that guy's like for the marathon, because I ran the marathon, 26.2 miles, which, by the way, I don't care who you are. I do not care how fast or how slow you consider it. If you go 26.2 miles, your body felt that. I'm telling you, your body feels it. So congratulations to anyone out there that does a marathon, because it hurts. I ain't gonna lie.
Do you know what the time was for the winner?
2:30-something. 2 hours and 30-something. That's a 5:30-something mile.
He's cooking.
Yeah, I can't run that in 1 mile. So I could start at mile 25 when he gets there after running 25 miles, and I'm not going to beat him to the finish line. That dude's rolling. And he was white, which is different, because usually, the guys that really win are like Ethiopian, Kenyan. But, in Alaska, they're like, nah, screw that. We're going to get $2,500 for the win or something. I don't know. So they go run the big races and make big money. But me, it's always the personal challenge. And I think that's what it is for everybody. You should have personal challenges to, just push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Plus, there's the excitement of the race.
I would say most are just wanting to finish it, regardless of time.
That is usually the goal. So I set out, my mindset is one thing. Now, I'll fast forward to the end, but then I'll back it up and tell you a few little particulars. So when I cross the finish line, of course, it's an exciting moment. I have Alicia there, Zach, Josh, Nikki, my mother-in-law, Maddie. Everybody is at the finish line. And then most of the other racers also were at the finish line because they had finished a long time before
The first thing Alicia says
Can you quit slinging that nasty fly swatter around?
I left that thing at mile 20.
Can I get a congratulations, maybe?
Just stop swinging at him. We'll congratulate you later. So I get to the finish line. I start looking through the subsection. So it turns out I came in second place. Right. But the sad thing is I was the only one in the category.
What's the category?
Really old fat guys that come from Mississippi that have never ran Anchorage before. So it's like a very subset. So it's like the very first time you're the only one here and you came in second. So that's a little humbling, but at the same time exciting.
But hey, you did it though.
I did that.
What was your time?
6 hours and 6 minutes. Not my best. My best is 4:37.
Okay.
I had neck issues.
Yeah, I know you've been battling your neck and shoulder and all kinds of stuff.
Neck was killing me, and then the legs started getting a little tired. But
does the neck hurt because of being hunched over while running?
Man, my neck is hurting because I'm breathing right now.
But I mean, even more so. Well, you're feeling it with every time your foot hits the ground in that pound. Are you feeling?
It's just a constant nag, to be honest with you. It's just constantly there. I'm like rubbing and stuff, and I put icy hot, and I was eating some ibuprofen like it was candy. But I got to the finish. I've got to go get this thing checked out. No excuses. Mm-hmm. I feel like that if you're going to try something, leave the excuse button at the house, go and do it, do your best, and at the end, accept what you get. Right. That's what I did. There's areas I can do better. I didn't train like I should have. There's all that stuff. But
you've been busy working in here, man.
Moving my mom. There's been a lot of stuff happening for sure. But I mean,
we spend 20 hours a week on one episode of Cannonball.
We easily do because we have that much fun. It's 18 hours. It
should be so much better than it is.
18 hours mostly of just talking in between before we start the video.
That's right.
So the race itself started out 60 degrees, 55 degrees, somewhere in there. Light overcast breezes, beautiful.
What time in the morning?
So the race from me started at 7:30.
Okay.
And then the half marathoners ran at 8:30. Which, by the way, congratulations, Zachary Camp.
All right.
Applause.
Where is it? I don't know what's up. Ran his first
half marathon. Zach ran his very first half marathon. Josh and my wife, Fly Swatter Lady, they all ran the half as well. And then Nikki, Josh's wife, ran the full. She finished in a little over 5 hours. So about an hour faster than me.
She whooped you, man.
She did. Well, which is not hard to do at this point in my life. Just to look at it as that, I'm like, congratulations, and you should set your sights higher because I'm going to lower your bar way too much.
Dude, you did it.
I did do it. But it started out really nice. In mile 3, it started raining. And I was like, I don't love running in rain because your feet get all sloshy. But it wasn't freezing rain. So I was good with that. Did pass a moose with two baby mooses.
Mooses.
Mm-hmm.
Moosies.
Two little baby
Two baby
moose.
moosies.
And then you had the big moose, and it was out there eating, and we ran by it by about 100 feet and just kind of looked up because we're running through a trail. It's a lot of trail stuff and ocean stuff. And then by mile 10, the sun came out and it warmed up to about 65, and it was a good day.
At mile 3, when it starts raining, you must be thinking to yourself, really?
Well, I'm just,
I have 23 more miles to go.
Let's just grind.
But did you think back on your 50-mile run and the rain and the mud and all the stuff you did through that? Did that help you say, I got this?
Actually, it's a good question. I have an answer, and it's a real answer. It's not as funny of an answer, but it's a real answer. When you get to the point in life that I'm at, two things go through your mind constantly in a race. One, focus on the fact that you're blessed to have this moment, because you never know when the next marathon you run is your last marathon. I always really do think about that, because who knows if 35 will come. Anything can happen in life. I accept that. I know that. So I embrace this moment's happening, and I should appreciate every second of it. The second thing I embrace is, what mile am I at? What's the next mile? That's it.
Micro.
What's mile 4 look like? What do I need? Do I need something to drink? Do I need something to eat? Is something bothering me? Is something rubbing? I ended up with a couple blisters on my toes and no lost toenails. That's a win.
That's good.
So, in the end, I'll tell you, Derrick, I keep it very micro. Very micro. Yeah. I don't think about mile 10 at mile 4.
Because you're hurting
It's just
yourself.
overwhelming.
Yeah,
it's overwhelming. So I keep it small, just step at a time. If something starts to bother me, I address it if I can. Neck starts hurting worse, pop another ibuprofen. Not recommended.
Did you have them in your pocket?
So I have a little fanny belt. I run very fashionably.
It's called the fanny pack.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that.
Fanny pack.
Well, I like to refer to it as a belt. Makes me feel strong. And so
it's like your Batman belt.
so I'm pulling stuff from that and eating snacks and for that part of it, I'm versed. And I think that's where experience plays in. Helped Zach out. I told Zach about some things to do, like you should lube up certain crease areas.
Interesting.
Because if you don't, you chafe.
Chafing.
Yes. And have a body glide. And then I'm like, so I don't want him to use my body glide because it goes in personal areas. So I gave him a bottle of Vaseline. Now, what's odd about that is this man came out the bathroom. That man's shiny as a brand new penny. Had done greased air. I said, boy, you ain't nothing gonna touch you. What are you doing? And the Vaseline bottle covered him. I said, you did too much. What is this? It's not Friday night. You think you Puff Diddy? Puff Diddy got nothing on you.
Man, have fun washing all of that off.
I mean, so much Vaseline.
The sweat's just beating off of him.
No chafage. Yeah, and all the people running next to him didn't get chafed because they're just sloughing off, hitting them.
I wouldn't like that feeling,
Vaseline,
though.
Yeah.
In the crotchal area.
Very slick.
That'd feel weird. I'd feel dirty.
Yeah, well, he felt slippery, so that's just a good Friday night. But anyways, he finished up. I was proud of him, and hey, man, I gotta be honest with you.
Good for him.
They don't get easier.
And Alicia did half. Oh no, you already ran down the people.
They did that. So
everyone did everything.
What's funny is people ask me this often. They'll say, what was your hardest one? I'm like, but freaking, they're all hard.
Yeah,
they're all hard.
Yeah.
This thing is an easy marathon, but
you had one you talked about where it was upwind. Or downwind.
Yeah,
against the wind, whatever that is.
So the course and the elements can add to the difficulty.
Iowa, right?
Iowa's horrible.
It was a rough one.
20 mile per hour headwinds the whole way.
Headwinds.
Every time you turned, it was in front of your face. I don't know how they did that crap.
Yeah.
So some elements make a race harder, but in my book, there's no such thing as an easy marathon. There's just less elements of a marathon. There's harder marathons, but there's no easy marathons. So, anyways.
You don't, off the top of your head, can't think of the hardest, the worst one?
No, there's some that compete, and they're all different reasons. Iowa sucked. Philadelphia sucked. It was snowing, icing, sleeting, raining. It was a horrible, horrible thing. And then the guy in front of me pooped himself. And the whole time I'm looking at poopy pants thinking, all right, one. I know, right? I'm like, two things are happening. I got to get out from behind this oil slick. And number two, if he ain't quitting, I sure ain't quitting.
So, oil slick.
There was real reasons to be concerned. And so that motivated me. And I got to tell you, man, Hawaii, I ran down the Queen K, which is nothing but an open, there's no shade highway on the side of the highway with lava rock on it. It's like I was in a convection oven. And then we started at 5 a.m, and it was already 85 degrees at 5 a.m. I was dying. And then I wore a rayon Hawaiian shirt because I thought it looked cool. That did not breathe.
No breath.
There's not breathing. I was dying. I was dying. I was panting like a dog.
That moist humidity, that coastal humidity.
I did some of that to myself, and then other parts of it.
Did you at least get a breeze?
Not often, because it wasn't on the water. I thought, I'm thinking there'll be some water. There'll be nothing. There was nothing. It was a tough one. It was in Kona. So now I've done Hawaii and Alaska. People always ask that too. They're like, "Will you tell them you're going to do the 50 states?" Like, have you done this one? Have you done that? Was the hard ones?
Yeah.
Well, the 2 distance, they're done.
Yeah.
Straight. So 16 more.
I have a state bucket list, but it's not running. It's just stepping foot in it.
All right, let's talk about that.
So I have 7 left.
Oh,
the states that I haven't been to.
Does that count as you like land in an airplane? What qualifies it? Do you have to get
all 43 states that I have checked off? I've walked in.
Okay.
Driven through.
Oh, okay.
Airport. I don't know, man. I don't know if that
conversation came up. I guess
it could count, but I mean, I think ideally eating. Let's say like every state you sit down and eat some cuisine. Just at a local restaurant. I don't know, but which I don't think I've done. Maybe.
Okay.
But I mean, I've driven through Nebraska and stopped at many gas stations and bought chips and sodas. Yeah. So I think I've been to Nebraska.
Oh, we'll count that.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's the funny thing, because Josh asked me that. He's like, what do you think qualifies? Because Alaska was his 50th state he had been to. So now he's been to all 50. And they asked me, they said, do you think landing in a city in a state counts as having been to that state? And I said, well, I think that's a personal decision. You have to make a goal for what it is that's going to qualify it for you personally. Yeah. So what you're saying is kind of walk around a little bit, maybe see something, grab a bite to eat. Yeah. Some people may say landing an airplane.
But I have plenty of states where multiple times with band in van or bus, driven end to end, east to west or vice versa, and some north to south, end to end.
So you've seen it all.
So I think that, like Nebraska being one of them, the Dakotas. Yeah. I've played in North Dakota a couple times, so you have to go all the way through South Dakota, and it was at the very top of North Dakota. I think that counts. Yeah.
Some people I've spoke to said that you have to collect an item from the place.
I mean, that'd be nice.
So here's what I did for myself. You want to hear what qualifies a state for me? Now, if you look at just simply being to a state counts, I have 6 to go. Okay. So I've been to, what is that? What's the math on that?
I think
40?
44. I think, seriously, if you're walking on the ground in that state and you're hanging out, you've been there.
Should count.
It should count. You've been there.
I got you. And I agree with you. I would agree with you. But for me personally, I wanted to up it. So here's what I've done. Y'all don't care about this. Alicia is cringing if I'm making her listen to this in the car. I want to say something to you.
Can you quit That's what I want to say. That nasty fly swatter out?
Yeah. You're going to put that fly swatter somewhere in 5 minutes, 5 more minutes. You're going to find something with that thing. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Okay. Here's what qualifies. I got to buy a trinket. Trinket means some kind of little memento thing that is from the state that would say this from state. Like when I was in Kansas, I bought a little snow globe. It had a little tornado in it. Welcome to Kansas. That's just an example. Right. So I buy a trinket. I buy a postcard. Some of these things are easy. Postcard. Yeah. I buy a bottle of wine, but the bottle of wine has to be made in that state to count.
Man, now that quickly got more difficult.
Some are easier than others. Alaska was surprisingly easy. I was shocking by that. So it has to be a bottle of wine from somewhere. It has to be a magnet, refrigerator magnet, and then hang on, there's a 5th thing, and why am I forgetting it? Because I'm the one that came up with these rules. So you got your trinket, your magnet, your wine, and a Christmas ornament. I got to get a Christmas ornament from that state. So those are easier than those. So 5 things, and then run a marathon. So once I've done all 6, dude, it's signed off.
We don't need all that to sign off on a state.
No,
Not
you don't
in my
need
head.
This is what I've done for myself. So that's what I've done. And Josh said make love. I'm like, wow, that's like a number 7. So if you have to do that, but if you're by yourself, does that count? I don't know. So that's up to you if you want to make that count. But anyways, for me, those 6.
Yeah, no, I need none of those.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing. One of the 34, I have to redo part of it.
What?
I lost a bottle of wine in a move once. We've done Nevada, and I've gotten all those things, and we lost our wine. I don't know where it's at.
So you did that for Alaska?
I did.
Wow.
All that's done.
How do you find a Christmas ornament in June?
Well, so in some places like Alaska, actually, every store sells Christmas ornaments. It's Alaska.
Yeah.
So you figure snow, mountains, I don't know. It's Alaska. So that was easy. Some are hard. And sometimes you have to be creative. West Virginia, we couldn't find one anywhere. So what we ended up doing was bought a thing of Hatfield McCoy in West Virginia, like a little coin, put a hole in it and made it into a Christmas ornament. So we created a Christmas ornament. But it still counts as it shows that it's...
That's right, because you have a tree that's dedicated to the state.
But. This might become boring to people, but I think it's kind of fun.
I think it's neat.
And people might be like, they might hear this and be like, hey, it's a good idea. I think I'll try that.
It makes me feel kind of weak.
No, don't be weak. Don't ever compare yourself.
I wish, looking back, of course, I wish I would have been like, hey, even back when I lived in Maine, growing up, going to New Hampshire, I guess I needed New Hampshire this and that and the other thing. Couldn't buy wine when I was 6 years old.
No, that's tough.
It's a little different.
That's hard.
But no, I can confidently and feel good knowing that I've seen 43 states in my way. I've been there.
Let me give you 2 parts. One is positive, one is negative. All right, so here it is. Because 2 positives make a negative anyway, so we're going to do a positive, negative. I think so. I'm not a chemist. So
I don't think it works that way.
I don't even know anymore. So here's the deal. If you collect all these things, this is the negative first because I want to end on positive. You collect all these things, and then when you die, so your kid gonna throw it away. So my kid's gonna throw it away. My kid gonna be like, "What is this stuff?" Gone, and so it doesn't even matter. Then you're dead. You're looking in down from heaven. You're like, "Oh, dang! All my stuff is in the garbage can."
They didn't feel the same way about it.
Same way about that stuff. So that's the negative. Now the positive is this. I think setting those kinds of parameters creates an environment that makes you intentional to live life.
Well, I'm sure it's fun.
It's
searching
almost
down
like a scavenger hunt.
You're searching down all of these things. It's giving you a to-do list.
A to-do list.
Because you were in Anchorage, more than one day.
Sure.
Your race was in one day, but you were there for a full week.
Yeah.
Give you something to do, right?
Well, it gives you focus and it makes you live intentionally. And the fun part about it is too, though, so people, I once said, I'll make a bucket list in a person. I saw this is a real thing. Person says, oh, that's dumb. Bucket list means that when you're done, you die. It's like, no, that's dumb. A bucket list is not meant to be static. It's dynamic. You're constantly adjusting and adding to it. You reach something. That's great. That's a goal. Go to the next thing. What's the next thing you can do to it? Because if you're not doing something intentionally, you're never really going after a goal.
Man, I wish I had your mindset.
Well,
sometimes your energy,
the rat running around in here. You may not want to meet him. I don't know what's going on in there. That dude's got way too much Adderall or something.
I'm just too lazy for things.
Well, that's okay too. That's called relaxing. Yeah. So ultimately, for me, it was about I wanted to challenge myself to do some fun things. I'm trying to go to all the ball fields. We went to a Mariners game, and there's 30 ball fields.
Do you have to buy something?
Yes.
What do you have to buy?
Baseball bat.
A bat?
Well, little ones. Those little bats.
Yeah, that has the logo on it.
With their logo, yeah.
So how many bats do you have?
So I need 12 more fields, and only one field did I not get one from because I wasn't doing it at that time. So then I need 13, and out of that, so I mean 17.
Okay.
I have 17. I didn't get a Rangers bat back in the day. Hadn't started it at that time.
You can go back.
I will.
Oh.
I will. If I didn't get it, I'll go back.
Do you have Fenway and Wrigley?
I do.
Okay.
Both of those.
I think those are going to be preserved forever because they're historical monuments, right?
Right.
But there's still teams out there that might be moving out.
To tell you how serious I am about this.
Might be changing.
Last year when I found out the A's were shutting down their stadium, even though they're still playing.
But they're a different name now.
No, they're still the A's for this year and the next year, maybe one more. But they're playing in a AAA park. So their stadium's going away. Zach and I bought tickets.
I remember that.
Flew out to Oakland just to see a game, and they didn't have any bats.
Did you get something else?
No. Well, I did. I did get something else, but I still ordered a bat online because I said, this counts. I flew out here. I saw a game. Not my fault.
You spent hard-earned money to do that.
Bat, I have it at the house.
Do you keep all the ticket stubs?
Used to. They don't do that anymore. Everything's on your freaking phone.
I guess
they don't even do paper.
Print it out, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same having that ripped ticket.
And I have some of those. So anyways, probably a long, boring story about me. I'm sorry about all that.
No,
I do apologize about
I think it's fun. We're just bantering. This is what the show is.
It is bantering. It is talk about stuff. But it's too much about me.
And for some reason, people enjoy it. And we appreciate that.
Yeah. I listen to it and I think to myself, man,
the cameras are off. Just kidding.
Oh, wow. Alicia? Did you do that? She's learned how to remote control it. All right, so enough about me for a moment. We'll go back to some of the other adventures on the trips. There's always adventures on any trip. What's been going on with you, man? I missed you.
I missed you too, man. It was weird not filming last week because the last 2 episodes that you witnessed were filmed in one day, one after another. And we got it even a little trickier. We filmed Alicia's, but that released after
the other.
Yeah. We filmed hers first, but it was released second.
That's how good we are now.
It's crazy. And what's funny is
reverse.
In the first 10 minutes of the second one we filmed, but what was published before Alicia, you changed your shirt in the middle of the show.
Yeah, nobody noticed that.
You forgot to change shirts. I didn't.
Yeah, this is so quick. It was
Anyways,
like ninja.
I mean, this very, very confusing timeline.
Great Scott!
Back in time stuff.
Nobody knows what's happening.
Okay, well, can I bore the audience even further with updates on my business stuff?
I want you to. Look, I've already brought them to a low. Bring them a little lower.
Let's start with the band.
Let's talk about them. Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis Band. We're called Back in Time. The music of Huey Lewis in the news.
Yes.
And man, we're getting tighter and tighter. We just had a rehearsal last week. Well, as we filmed this just 2 days ago, and we've been on every 3 to 4 weeks we get together, and we're realizing we gotta ramp that up. Because we have a date booked for September 5th at Neshoba's in Collierville. Nice. That's going to come quick if we're only rehearsing once every 3 weeks.
It does happen.
So now, bam, we got this coming Monday, so we'll have back-to-back weeks and working in, our newest member. His name is Tom Slagle. He's our keyboard/sax player, which perfect for Huey.
Can you do both at the same time?
He can.
Are you serious?
There's times where if he's playing a simple or just chordal, a sax line that is just more of a chord, and then with his right hand or whatever hands he needs, he can, but there's moments where it's just, it's a big sax solo or it's a signature sax melody.
Wow.
So then he'll just play the sax, and then there's some songs he doesn't play the sax at all. So not every Huey song has a saxophone in it.
Yeah.
So then he's our keyboard player for those stuff and a great harmony vocalist. So
he's singing, playing as man, that dude talented.
Well, he can't sing and play the sax at the same time.
That would be something right there. That's like a ventriloquist.
That would be odd. But there's times where he'll have a sax part. He'll have to come out of that, sing back up, and then move to keys. Yeah, he's awesome.
I don't even know how your brain can do that.
He's great.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So, and he is one of 4 great harmony vocals in the band. So we got powerhouse vocals, a lot of harmonies.
You're never going to make your debut with these guys.
No, I can't sing. So, and there was a funny, and Tom didn't mean anything by this because I know what he meant when he said this, but just in talking, he was talking about a certain song, and we're in the kitchen before we get going. And he's like, yeah, this song right here, the vocal's really easy. Jimmy is our lead vocalist. He's like, all I have to do is pick up the top third, and any good musician should be able to do that. And everyone looks at me. And he doesn't know I can't sing yet. He probably thinks I'm not because I don't want to, but no, I can't. So I'm like, thanks, man. I guess that leaves me out, and everyone's laughing. And he's like, sorry, man. I guess
you can just move your mouth. That's what a lot of kids do in a recital.
No. But so rehearsals are going great. We're working on 20 songs. That's our goal.
I thought you said 30 before.
Not for this one.
Okay. Not for this gig. 30 as a whole eventually.
No. Well, a typical, you need about 30, but we are marketing this as a 2-hour show.
Okay.
Period.
I'm just trying to keep up, but I like it.
So 20 songs is what we're looking at.
Got you.
And we're hoping to leave such an impression that we can have that pull. Where typically a bar wants to hire you for 3 hours. Be like, you're getting 2 hours with us. Yeah. This is a novelty show. This is a special, tribute situation. You're hiring us to play a concert for you rather than filling.
Allow me to interject something. Sorry. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing the future for you guys.
Okay.
So let's say somebody's like, well, we need to fill 3. Here's what you do. You play for an hour. DJ Thrive shows up for an hour. And then you finish with an hour.
Sure.
And then now all of a sudden, Derrick get a little extra paycheck, be like,
we could do that.
Yeah.
But a way that we would do it with band scenarios is just bring in a band in and play an hour before us. Leave it on us. We'll hire an opener.
Yeah.
And
that's a good idea too. I guess people do that, obviously.
But But yeah, so anyways, things are moving along. It's so much fun. Such a great group of guys. And plugging away.
That's good, man.
I got some new songs I got to learn between now and next week.
Do you have a favorite? What's your favorite song to play?
My favorite song to play is a song called If This Is It.
If This Is It.
I know
that song, yes.
It's just a fun bass line.
Yeah.
Hip to Be Square is a lot of fun.
Yep.
I mean,
obviously popular.
They're all fun.
Well, sure.
I mean, seriously, the Huey music, especially for a bass player, I'm sure it's fun for everybody else. Everyone else in the band says the same thing about their part. Mm-hmm. You know, their respective instruments. Like, yeah, this is so much fun.
Can I do something that is very spontaneous and you have no idea that I'm about to do?
I encourage it.
Well, I got news for you, listeners, viewers in particular. If you're watching, just know this man has no idea what is about to happen by Coach Camp. But I want you guys to understand something. I may have went on a vacation to what felt like another country, even though it was still America, is what I found out. We did fly over another country. We flew over Canada.
That's right.
We did do that. Mm-hmm. And my phone showed up and said, "Welcome to Canada," as we were flying over Canada, which was weird too, because my phone wasn't working any other time. Anyways, I always think of you. I'm always thinking of you. Where's that music? Where's that music?
You even thought of me in a different country.
I did. And now, I'm not an idiot. Totally. I know that this is not something that you need.
I hear some rumblings.
I know this is not something that you need. It's not what you use, but it's all I could do.
If y'all can hear the crackling of a bag.
We were in Whittier, Alaska.
Whittier.
And I'll tell you a little
bit
bit about
like
Whittier.
Smarter or Whittier?
Well,
more wise.
They have something, and I don't know what it is. But here's what I got you, because I wanted to bring you back a token.
Oh, look at this.
Brought you a little pick. I saw that.
It's a guitar. Oh.
I know you don't use picks with bass. I know that. I'm not.
Oh, no, I absolutely do.
I didn't know that. Course. Then I am an idiot. I will retract those comments.
I'm going to try to. Yeah. I never know which camera.
It's all right.
If I just do it straight. Yeah. No one's going to be able to see that. I'm going to put it straight in your face. See if it's going to focus. I love it. Thank you.
Yes, I saw that. I thought of you.
Whittier, Alaska.
That is in a very remote area.
For the listeners, it's a beautiful pic that's got like it's got Shamu swimming. Mm-hmm. Remember Shamu?
Mm-hmm. I do.
What are these whales called? Killer whales.
Killer whales.
In the ocean. What looks like a background of like mountains.
Yes.
I love it.
It's a beautiful, beautiful area.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I will tell you a little quick snippet about Whittier, if you will. So this is what makes this interesting. So this is all relative. This is all real. Sometimes on Cannonball, you're like, yeah, they real. But this one is. So we had to drive like almost an hour to get to this place. Uh-huh. And it's very remote. Lots of mountains, beautiful streams, mountain streams.
I bet it's amazing.
Amazing, beautiful views. And then to get to Whittier, these people. Now, look, I am going to embellish a little bit because I don't know how it really went down. I wasn't there. One day, somebody's sitting there and they're like, there is a great bay on the other side of this mountain. And then there's people around probably, I'm guessing. And they're like, yeah, but how are we going to get there, Frank? I'm saying the guy's name's Frank. And Frank's like, I got an idea. And then you know that Frank's friends are like, oh my God, here we go again. Here we go again. And Frank's like, we can't go over this mountain, but we can go through it. And then Bobby is over in the corner like, you've got to be bleep, 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 bleep. And Frank's like, hold my beer. Okay. These jokers done went and blasted 2.5 miles of mountain.
Wow.
They blew a hole through this mountain, 2.5 miles thick, all the way through. You have to sit in line because we got a person on either side and they got like a wait time.
So it's one lane.
One lane. And not only do cars go down this, trains go down this. So you don't want to screw this up. You end up in that tunnel. There ain't nowhere to go. You and the train. Done. Next. Done.
Wow.
So you have to wait. And then whenever it's your turn, they let you go in this line of traffic. And so then you drive 2.5 miles through the tunnel of this mountain.
How long did you have to wait?
We got there perfect timing on the way in. On the way out, took about 30 minutes. Okay. So we got there just as they were letting traffic go. Mm-hmm. So we kind of flowed with it. But 2.5 miles in, get to the other side of the mountain. It opens up. You come out of this hole, and there's this beautiful mountain chains, this pristine bay, tons of boats everywhere. It's a shipyard, and there are these businesses, a couple of like 5 restaurants.
And that tunnel is the only way in and out.
The only way in and out. And so people that work there and live there all live in the same condominium. There's like 200 and some odd residents in this one condominium.
That way they don't have to,
on the place.
They don't have to travel back and forth.
They don't have to travel back and forth, and that's it. And everybody that works in there for the most part lives in that condominium. There's one condominium. It's like a whole new universe. It's like Narnia.
Wow.
It's Narnia.
It's its own world.
So here we are.
Narnia.
We go into Narnia. 2 things that you need to know. We ate at a restaurant. I'm thinking going to be crappy seafood. Bullcrap. Delicious bison burger.
Why would you think it's crappy seafood? It's right there.
But I'm thinking, how fresh is it going to be? And I got a bison burger. I was kind of wanting a hamburger at this point. It had a lot of fish. Juiciest bison burger you could ever imagine. Freshest vegetables. Delicious. Delicious. I mean, they hit it. The people over here are crushing it. I'm just telling you. And I go in this little shop. It's a fudge shop because I like fudge. I ain't fudging around with that. I don't like fudge. We go in. I'm like, let me try this fudge. I'm like, oh, that's good. I need a brick of that. Oh, that's good. So I ended up with like a lot of bricks of fudge, it turns out. I don't know how many calories that is. A lot of calories. The woman working behind the counter from Biloxi, Mississippi. Are we serious?
Nice.
I'm like, the twist on this is she lives in the condominium 3 months out of the year during the summer.
Okay.
And then goes back home to Mississippi for the rest. And then comes back out there. They lived there a long time ago, long story. Anyways, so she loved it. So she works there 3 months out of the year and then does that. And behind the counter, I saw those pics at the fudge shop. And I said, my boy D-Dog.
Yes, sir.
So that brought you all the way to how that pic ended up right here.
I love it.
In Hernando, Mississippi.
I love it.
So
thank you. I think that's really cool.
There it is.
I appreciate that.
It's all
It's
true
awesome.
story. That all is a true story.
I don't want to use it because I don't want to break it. They break. Pics will break.
If I knew you used them, I'd have bought you a whole bunch of them. But I'm like, he probably doesn't, but it's a momentum. And I want him to know.
Yeah, so, I mean, for bass playing,
yeah.
You know,
I thought it was just this.
That's one technique, and then there's playing with the picks, another technique.
Well.
Some snub the other side. I'm whatever the song calls for. Whatever, you know, if you're playing Guns N' Roses,
you gonna use that?
Yeah. Duff McKagan was a pick player on his bass.
Oh.
When you play Bee Gees, I don't think he used a pick. You know, when you play disco or whatever.
This is why we do this show too, is because it's educational for Chris Camp.
Different feels, different sounds.
Oh.
I think both equally awesome. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, that's awesome. That is good stuff. I didn't know that. Oh, by the way, speaking of the word awesome, we counted how many awesomes my mother-in-law said. You know, she went on the race with us.
I was going to ask you who that person was.
Yeah, that's my mother-in-law, Alicia's mom. She went with us, and her word is awesome. And I think we stopped at 2,174. Everywhere was like, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
I saw the video of you in the Uber doing your rap and seeing, especially Maddie. I couldn't see Zach, and Alicia was kind of hidden, but I could see Maddie and your mother-in-law
jamming,
laughing, and just seeing Maddie kind of like laugh, being embarrassed, but laughing because it's funny, and like, oh my God, Dad, but this is awesome, Dad, like kind of look on her face. Classic.
I got a story about that. You want me to share?
Yes, please.
So Uber, we've talked about this. Uber is, it's funny because no matter where you go, it's somebody from a different country. We had a lady from Ukraine. We had a guy from Yugoslavia. We had a guy from Argentina. I mean, it was every country in the world except America. Nobody was from America that drove any of these Ubers. We've talked about this.
It's like that everywhere.
Everywhere. In fact, our last driver of the entire trip that took us to the airport was the only person from America. He's from Virginia Beach. And I told him that. He's like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, no, you are the only American person that is driving us for whatever reason that is, because they're from Serbia everywhere. Well, that guy was from Afghanistan.
Okay.
And he's like, so I get in the front seat and I'm going to do a bad accent. Is that okay?
Did he speak English?
Yes.
Yeah, but
he had a bad accent. He had a thick accent. I'm going to do the bad one.
All right, guys. It's okay. We're just trying to be funny.
Yes.
Let's lighten up a little bit.
It's real. He knows this. Yeah. And the rest of the story becomes more offensive later. So wait. So he looks over at me and goes, okay, you have a very serious job. And he's got this scowl look. He's like, you are in charge of the tunes. And he hands me his phone. And I said, okay. And I'm scrolling and everything is in Arabic. For real, like all the songs on his
like,
playlist.
what am I doing here?
I said, and this is what I tell him, right? So I'm always engaging. As soon as I get in a car, I'm like, hey, how's it going? What's your name? And we start talking from there. And he told me his name, and it's like Waffle Fluffle or something.
Bob.
I can't remember. Yeah, we went with something like Fluffle, and that's just what I went with. And so I'm looking through, and I'm like, well, we got one problem. I'm fresh out of Arabic in my mind, but I do have a great idea. He goes, okay, what is it? I said, are you on YouTube? And he goes to YouTube. So I type in Motivate with Coach Camp, and then I pull it up.
How did you type it in?
On his phone with words.
But I mean, the keys.
The keys are normal.
Okay.
Yeah, but on the script, on the screen, it translates over,
so
right?
he didn't have a random, I guess it wouldn't change the keyboard.
So I typed that in, and then I subscribed to my YouTube. I said, you just became a subscriber to my YouTube. Congratulations.
There you go.
And I said, and I got a little something special. And so I'll scroll through until that episode where I did the rap. And I said, here's a little something you need to know. This is my song. And I play it. And I start jamming, and I'm rapping with it.
Filming it.
And I'm filming it, and I'm rapping to it. And he just starts, look, all the way up to this point, serious army face. And then just laughing. He's dying.
He had no idea who he tasked for this. I'm sure he does this to a lot of passengers.
Probably.
Can you play the music, please? Little did he know he was going to get someone that was going to rap for him.
And so this is a long ride.
A song that he wrote, too.
Right.
You wrote.
This is like a 35-minute ride, 40-minute ride. So we're together a long time. So that's just a snippet of the whole ride.
Does that happen early?
This happens about midway through because it took me a minute to find it. I couldn't find the episode. I was scrolling through and I was missing it. And then we were talking too, so I was distracted and I was asking him questions. So then when I play it and he's laughing at the end, he goes, I tell you, you're the first person to make me laugh. I'm going to show this to my army people. They are going to follow your YouTube. I'm like, army? And he's like, yes, my Taliban. He says, Taliban. I said, I ain't scared of Taliban. Let them grow. Tell them, come on board with Coach Cam.
Come on, Taliban.
And now you don't even know where to go with this. And Baddie's in the back. She's just like, oh, my God. He was trying to mess with me, obviously.
Yeah.
And so he had a great time. We gave him $15. You know, I tip according to how much fun we're going to have. So I don't know if 15 is a good price or not, but it's a lot of dang money whenever you're traveling constantly by Uber. It was $80 one way anytime we Ubered somewhere out there. It was so far. So anyways, we had a blast, and we used Uber a lot, and then we got a rental car in Alaska. That was actually in Seattle. That was in Seattle, Washington. That video happened.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense because Seattle's known to be very diverse.
Very diverse.
A lot of people from all over the world.
There's a lot of people all over the world in Alaska, too.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. But Seattle is that's a hub city.
And we've talked about Croatia before. There was a waiter from Croatia. A very interesting young man. We have a guest that's going to come on the Motivate with Coach Camp show.
Okay.
I'm just throwing this out there. We did a trolley tour in Alaska, and she was a performer, an actor, a singer, this long lineage life, and now she's like in her 60s. Lifelong Anchorage resident, lived there her whole life. And she's singing songs on the trolley. She's telling all these wild stories of what she's done. And so I go to get off and I said, ma'am, this is going to sound weird. I need you to come on my podcast. We don't know each other. And so we talked for like 2 minutes and she gave me her card. So she's going to come on from Anchorage.
Is she going to fly in?
I told her to. She
should. Awesome.
Maybe she's never been out of Anchorage. This could be a big moment.
She would hold the record for most space traveled to be in studio.
She would. Oregon right now holds the record. We had a guy flying from Oregon. That would definitely take it.
But Alaska is hard to beat.
Yeah. Now,
it's hard to beat.
Zooming. Yeah. She still ain't there. We got a person from Australia.
Yeah. The Zoom makes sense. It's just not as fun.
Not near as much fun. So anyways, that was some more boring stories from Coach Camp.
Not boring at all.
You know, I have anxiety when I fly.
You have peak anxiety on the tarmac.
Tarmacs. It's not the flying, it's the tarmac. So on this one, I did a little something different. I got me some Valiums.
Really?
Yeah. And I was KO'd. I took the Valium and I was smooth asleep by the time we took off.
So the first leg of flying, was it direct Memphis to Seattle?
No, we had to stop in Austin and then catch a flight to Seattle. Stayed a couple days.
Okay.
Flew from there to Anchorage, which is only 3 hours, by the way. It's not very far from Seattle to Anchorage.
I would gather the longest flight was Austin to Seattle.
Yes, that was about 4 hours.
Yeah,
and so
which isn't bad at all.
It's not, but
that's not bad either.
I took it, I slept, and that was good. And so then on the flight back, I'm like, well, maybe I don't need it. I'm good. So we're flying back, and it's good. And then guess where the worst anxiety hits? Memphis, Tennessee. We land in Memphis back home last night and get stuck out on the tarmac for like 45 minutes because they didn't have somebody to pull us into the gate.
That will feel longer than a 4-hour flight. I know. I'm with you, man.
I got up and walked to the back. I'm like, y'all got to do something.
And the air's not on. The air kind of die away. Yeah, I hate it too.
I asked the lady in the back, I said, what's the fine if I pull this emergency exit? Because I'm just curious. I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm just asking a question, just asking random questions. You could tell that the flight attendant was kind of picking up I was anxious, but kind of picking up I was joking. And at the same time, I'm like kind of thinking I wouldn't do it, but I'd love to. Anyways, and I told her, so I'm having some anxiety issues. We need to get this thing to the gate.
Can we move on with this?
Yeah, so anyways.
Was it Southwest?
No, it was American. I don't even mind dropping names. American was Delta, Aces.
You like Delta?
Delta did great. Then I come to find out their ticket prices are more expensive, so they obviously deliver better service.
You would hope.
You get for what you pay for on that one. Yeah, Delta did great, man. Great. They have TV and you could play solitaire and all that stuff on the back of the chairs. I watched Beethoven on the way over.
Nice.
It made me second guess getting Winston.
That was a good choice.
He's a beautiful dog.
With Delta's upgraded cost, did you at least get a full can of soda when asking for a drink?
Oddly enough, American gave you a full. Delta gave you just a little cup.
A little cup.
But if you asked for more, they would give you more.
I'd be like, for $1, can I just have a full can, please?
Yeah.
That's what I want a can.
I get it.
You don't get peanuts anymore.
No, they gave you 3 options. You could get Sun Chips, you could get some other kind of Biscoff cookie, and then you had something else you could get.
I repeat, you don't get peanuts and delicious honey roasted peanuts anymore.
Well, probably some people had anaphylaxis or something. Fell over dead. But
I remember when I was young and we flew from Boston to Florida to go to Disney World. Direct flight now, but we got a meal. The whole thing. Full soda.
Oh, you can get a meal for like $35.
I mean, I don't know if it was. I don't know how my mom booked and paid for all that, but he just intercontinental. Is that how the right to say it? Flying in the contiguous 48 states.
Sure.
You don't get meals.
No, not anymore.
I mean, you can go direct from Boston to LA. You're not getting a meal,
right? Unless you're buying it. You can buy one. They have them on there.
But I mean, that doesn't seem like it's how it used to be.
Yeah,
where when you flew, is it going to be fish, chicken, or beef, sir?
Right, exactly.
Now it's just like, here's some crackers.
Deal with it.
And a 3-ounce cup of soda.
Those flight attendants ain't doing bad. They just go up and down the aisle one time to give out stuff, and then like maybe a couple other passes, take up garbage, done.
Yeah.
And they're getting paid to cruise. So it ain't a bad gig, I guess, in that respect. But on this trip, there was one thing that stood out to me. So there's this one family. They have 4 kids. And man, look, and with nothing relaxing about it. And so you can't help but overhear conversations. So this part here, I wanted to interject, but I'm just like, it ain't my business. But these people were going to Alaska with 4 kids, all under the age of 9, and going trekking and hiking and doing. I'm like, what kind of holistic? And these people, look, the kids, they like to screech. 2 of the younger ones, I don't know what the screeching's about. They just screaming, and they're on a plane, and it's in a vacuum. And now all those things were interesting. But this is the moment where I realized these folks are real comfortable in their skin. So this ain't casting shade. This ain't making fun. This is just keeping it real. I'm keeping it real on a conversation.
Okay.
This is the only family. You think about all the people I just saw in a week.
Yeah.
This is the only people that left an impression. They had these 4 young kids. They're walking around. I'm surprised they had shoes on because they looked like they were Mother Earth people. They had the hair with the thing and not picking on them at all. And they like the kids a little snotty a little bit, but they're like, if all the kids seem happy except screeching. The screeching part was weird. And the mom is just like whole in there. And I come walking down the aisle and then she pull a booby out, just feeding babies. And I'm just like, I know we're from the Western world. This is normal in Europe. So I ain't judging. Ain't no big deal, but it's just, they were a different cut, and they're going hiking up in the woods with kids. I'm like, my brother can barely come to my house and not have one of his kids almost die from something.
That's awesome, though.
It is. It is a wild.
They seem like the type that live off the grid.
Oh, they way off the grid. They way off the grid. They're talking about going up and staying for a couple weeks, and I'm overhearing the conversation because they were very social people too. They were talking to everybody around them.
Yeah,
you know those folks, but they're not shy. They'll tell everybody stuff. And
that's cool though. Good for them. Good for them.
Good for them is what I say.
They probably homeschool the kids. It seems like that.
I would say
that would be the type. Of folk too.
Yeah, it's I would say this much: they're brave.
Yeah,
that's the word I'm gonna
living life. Those kids are getting experiences.
They really are.
Good for them.
That was the group that really stayed with me. I was like, man, that is like they should have a sitcom. They should have a show. You had the Alaskan Bush people. Whatever these people are, travel people, do them people, because they doing stuff with young kids. But man, overall, dude, the trip was exciting. It was fun. The daylight threw me off.
Yeah, you showed me a picture of what is it? What 2 a.m?
It was 2 a.m. and you could see everything.
The sun had finally finished its setting.
Yeah, it was over the side of a mountain.
Yeah,
and bright as all get out. Yeah. It was just that threw you off a little bit trying to.
What was the temperature like out there?
Between 60 and 67.
The whole time?
Yeah. One day it was a little cloudy, so it probably got in the 50s a little bit.
Oh, chilly.
But zero humidity, beautiful, and surprisingly enough, a lot of mosquitoes. You know, you would think that cool temp, but no, a lot of mosquitoes. Nothing else, though. No snakes. There are no snakes indigenous to Alaska. Did you know this?
No.
I didn't know this either.
I'm liking that.
Yep, no snakes.
It's my least favorite thing ever.
We did some hiking and some trails, so I didn't have to worry about snakes, but we do have to worry about bears.
Yeah.
We did come across a mama bear and 3 cubs. Mm-hmm. She was minding her own business, didn't care that we were around, so she just kept on doing her thing.
Didn't you sit in a creek?
I sat in a creek. It was freezing cold. My giblies went dead. Something you should know, too. It's like
your giblies.
When you get into cold water, you've slept on your foot and it went to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't feel it. And then when you go to stand up, you can't feel it touching the ground, right? And then when the circulation comes back, it hurts. You got all that, right? Everybody's feeling that right now. Across the world, you're feeling that.
Across the world.
So I get in this creek because after the race, and I'm chilling it down. By the way, became a Ken doll immediately. Just smooth, gone, pew, pew, gone, pew, gone. And I'm down in the water. And it's super cold, of course. And I get out and I can't feel my feet touching the ground. It's that moment. And I'm trying to walk and I can't feel them touching because they're so cold. And I was only in there and you want to know this quick, 50 seconds max. Not even a minute.
So it's like one of those ice baths.
Super, super cold plunge.
The water must have been crystal clear though.
Oh, it's crystal clear. I thought about taking a sip out of it, but I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know who's peeing upstream. But I didn't. No. I didn't do that.
I would have tried that.
Would you? I thought about it.
Oh yeah,
why not? So I got out and I took a few steps and I couldn't feel my feet. So then I sat down on the ground, took my shoes off, and then started to walk. And then the feeling starts to come back, and I can't even take a step. They are in pain,
like fire. It's like a fire feel. Yeah.
Oh my God, I couldn't even put weight on it. And this happened for like 2 minutes. I'm sitting there in pain. And then as I get up and I'm walking barefoot now, and we're trying to make our way back down this trail to go to our car, that's when the mama bear come over the hill. So now I know I'm screwed if mama bear doesn't like us.
You can't run.
I can't run. My feet are done.
Yeah.
So.
And you're a Ken doll still.
I'm a Ken doll, so it's not, I don't even know what's eating. It's
I don't know if this pain is around the corner.
It's coming up at some point. He's like, I don't know if this is a male or female. I don't know what it is. So I'm just eating this thing. So thankfully the bear didn't care that we were there. And we saw a bobcat when we were running. I thought it was a cougar. It was so freaking big.
That's cool.
So we saw some cool
spiders.
Stuff.
Do they have spiders?
They do have spiders. Fortunately, nothing bigger than a small microscopic. I didn't see any massive ones like we have down here that look like tarantulas.
Good.
Had a couple of them. But anyways, overall, great trip. Great fun.
They looked awesome. Beautiful country.
Ate a lot of fish.
That's not surprising.
Different types of fish. Halibuts. I don't even know what other ones they had.
But you saw Mises and bears, I mean. Bobcat.
Yep. Goat. Saw some mountain goats.
Mountain goats.
Yeah.
And I would gather it's common to see a black bear just kind of roaming through.
I think so.
It doesn't make headline news like it does in DeSoto County.
Right. Yeah, nobody was putting that on their Instagram stuff like, oh my God, I can't believe this is loose up here. I am glad we didn't come across a grizzly. I feel like a black bear would hurt you.
I mean,
a grizzly bear would snack on you.
Yeah, I mean, a black bear could kill you if it wanted to.
An adult, they're not that big. I don't want to challenge it.
I don't want to challenge it.
I'm not going to try that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying.
But big grizzly, forget about it.
Oh, done. They had a stuffed one in this one place we went in, standing on its hind legs.
Tall.
12 feet.
Yeah.
Easy.
Massive.
Easy. Yeah. That's incredible. I'm like, why are you living here?
And then polar bears. There's my Yankee polar bears
up there.
And polar bears are even bigger.
They are bigger.
They're bigger.
You know, when we were up there, we had the summer solstice. Y'all had it here too.
That's the longest day.
Longest day of the year.
Yeah.
And so every day up there is long.
So we've passed that?
We've passed it. It's 21st.
So now we're over the hump. Now days are getting shorter.
That's what's happening.
My depression is already creeping in.
Bro, I feel you. But I think it did something to some of them people up there.
Why?
Because the day after, they were tripping hard.
What do you mean?
This all happened in about a 45-minute span. Uh-huh. We're driving to go to a restaurant to eat. And this dude, Alicia's driving at this point. Mm-hmm. So we took turns just from time to time. We're on our way to a restaurant. Dude comes running through busy highway traffic, weaving the traffic as traffic's coming back and forth. Almost gets hit a couple times. She doesn't even honk the horn because she's just like freaked. So I reach over and I do the pleasure. I'm honking at him because I'm like, you're an idiot. You're going to be dead. You think that's it. We get into town where it's going slower, so now the traffic's 15, 20 miles an hour, and dude's just walking down the middle of the road. This other guy just walking down the street in the middle of the road. I'm honking. He's flipping us off and acting like he's going to grab something. Alicia's freaking out. I'm like, dude.
Could this be drugs?
I don't know what's happening. I don't know if the sun has affected them. And then on our way from there, all the traffic shut down on the other side of the road. There's a dude on a bridge threatening to jump. And the cops. And all this is in 40 minutes.
You're like, why are we?
What is happening?
Why did we come here?
All of this is all on the other side of solstice. So that's what I'm going back to.
Maybe.
I think it made people lose their mind for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, constant light.
Dude, I don't know.
Not getting proper sleep.
Anyways, I don't know. Those are a lot of the stories I had. I wrote down stuff. Crazy people running in traffic. Daylight's too long. Bobcats, goats. Somebody jumped at me and I isolated in a town where I had to find TP. Oh, yeah. There was that.
Toilet paper?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, we ran out.
In your Airbnb?
Yeah. And then there's no easy place to get that. So I wrote that.
There wasn't a Dollar General just down the street?
No, it was about 15 minutes away. And somebody, and I ain't going to say who's at camp, is already in the bathroom and he comes out with a towel on. And I'm like, what are we going to do here? What are we supposed to do now?
Get in the shower,
so
I guess.
I drove down the road and got TP.
Just get in the shower.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead. So I was like, there we go. TP from my bung hole.
Well, welcome back, Coach.
Thank you, man.
Man, glad that we're back in the saddle here. This has been fun.
Way too much talk about me today, though.
No, dude, you just did a huge thing.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, next week we'll talk. Hopefully, our shirts are ready.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it might take 2 weeks to get our shirts ready. But yeah, I made Thrive Entertainment shirts. I'm excited to. Yeah, you saw?
Yeah, well, I didn't know. See, I didn't know the shirt was already ready, but it's getting ready.
Oh, it's getting ready.
Gotcha.
It's been ordered.
Got you.
I know a guy that can just do a few shirts. I
nice.
I didn't order 100 shirts for merch.
Okay.
No, just key people. 6 shirts total.
Well,
just to have a momentum. This is the first shirt.
Cannonball.
I know we need Cannonball shirts.
Get those things in there.
But yeah, so hopefully I'll have a shirt for you soon. Mm-hmm. Before we leave, I'm going to give you my new business card.
Oh, I need it.
So I had to redo the logo.
Okay.
It just needed to be redone. It was a fake thrown together logo that was very low resolution. And I'm like, I need a higher res and better looking logo before making merch, if you will. Shirts, eventually magnets, stickers, stuff.
Did you do it?
Yeah, but with the help of Canva.
Oh.
So Canva is very helpful.
So Canva can help us do a Cannonball.
Yeah, but but it's getting our faces on there as Cannonballers. Yeah, we'll figure that out. But anyways, look, man, good to have you back.
Thank you.
And
it's good to be back.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to doing this every week again. It was weird not doing it last week.
It really was weird doing it last week. I mean,
look, Coach,
I ain't gonna lie to you. This is one of the moments in the week that I look forward to for real. Every chance I get to come in here, be a fool with you, and think about what life would be like without it. It makes me scared because all I ever want to do is
Cannonball!
Let's go!
I was waiting for the cue.
Flawless timing.
Flawless.
I love it.
And thank you.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the camera and to you driving
Bling, bling.
down the car listening. Thank you. for engaging and listening and watching and commenting and liking and sharing.
Doing those things. Send us some more mail. I got a few this week, but I didn't have time to go through it because I was out of town. But hey, next week we're going to bring them back.
We'll go out of order. You can email us at cannonballinglife@gmail.com.
There we go.
Nice. Motivate
with
coachcamp.com is where you need to go.
That's it.
SRP
Studios
LLC.com.
Yeah, boy. That's it.
I think we missed an L.
Oh, LLC?
I think so.
LLC.
SRP Studios LLC.com.
LLC.
Go check that place out.
Oh, well.
Pay it a visit.
Yeah.
Why not? TheRhythmSectionPod.com. I'm going to throw that out there.
Rhythm Section's busting.
Look, it's...
I think busting.
And maybe we'll talk about that next week to recap. The season's coming to an end. Episode 100. If you're listening to this on published day, the following Tuesday the 1st, is episode 100, where we filmed at Roosters. And then July 8th, me and Coach, me and Jeff, going to do a little season ender, season capper, thanking our guests and sponsors, and then we're going to go away for a while. So it's been a huge year so far for the Rhythm Section.
We're thriving in 25, baby.
Thriving and 25.
I love that stuff.
But Positive Voices, check that out. Link in the description.
Make it 1,200. We're almost at 1,200. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Monumental.
Yes.
And also what's monumental is we have an avenue for you to support us financially.
Be a part of it.
Feeling a little generous at Motivate with Coach Camp on Venmo. At Motivate with Coach Camp.
Do that.
Coach.
Yes.
Good seeing you, man.
Good to see you, brother.
Take care, everybody.
Love ya. Holla, holla.